Look, I haven't read the whole thing from start to finish, but enough. You have the right to publish anything you like pretty much about anyone, whether it's decent or cool or not. And they have the right to push back, whether that's decent or cool or not.
You're like Mom. It's like you learned how to play chess in her womb and everyone else is only a pawn.
What do you want? For me to say, oh boy, sis, sure, art comes before life.
No, that is the worst kind of oversimplification.
But you sort of think it does, and so you have to accept the consequences.
They let him go. They weren't helping him. They kicked him out.
But did they let him go, or did he just fly off in rage and fury? It seems you're looking for an apology. Well, maybe they have apologized and you just haven't noticed it.
An apology? You don't write a book because you want an apology, Trip. You write a book because of who you are, a person who writes books. The only obligation I have is to myself, to write it. I am a writer, and this is my flawed version of what happened, and I didn't come here to be emotionally blackmailed and censored by two people who lived very public lives and then hid in the desert.
A, don't really need the lecture on what a writer is. And B, it's just a story. A story you've told yourself and will now share for fame and money.
Oh, please don't say I'm doing this for money, okay? I have no interest in money, and you know that.
Yeah, because you're rich. Even if you don't take a cent from them, which isn't exactly true, because they paid for the fancy hospital in Cambridge where you camped out for 6 months.
I was not camping.
You're rich. You're smart, absurdly white, Ivy League, and your parents are rich and you know
and
it.
what are you? What about you? What are you, a Zapotec Indian?
The difference between us is I don't use my 16 dozen different little sicknesses for gain. You do, it's just who you are. You think being a depressive makes you special? Guess what? Being depressed makes you banal. In your case, hard. Not easy to beat.
That's not fair.
Fair? Well, neither is Love and Mercy a memoir. And I worship you, I totally do, I love you, but this is true, what I'm about to say. Suck it up and take it and don't interrupt. Because you had a breakdown, you think you've earned a free pass here. Because you couldn't function, didn't care to eat, or brush your teeth, or wash your hair, or even speak. Or even at a point looked like you might follow Henry down the trail off yourself. You think this entitles you to paint a picture to the world of two people who failed in every possible context. As citizens, as parents, as humans.
You figured this all out, didn't you, Dr. Wyeth? When you weren't busy cooking up jury of your goddamn peers?
You want to be a little bitch about my TV show, Brooke? At least, at the very least, have the decency to watch it first, okay? You think you're not like anyone else on Oprah?
Look, I accept that you can't recognize our parents as I have written them. That time has changed them. Then why can't you accept that I have been as honest as I can in depicting events you weren't aware of as a little kid?
I never said you were being dishonest.
You don't even understand this depression thing because you don't have it.
Yeah. That's what all depressives say. How would you know what I have and don't have? How? You have your head so far up your own butt you wouldn't notice if I were covered in killer ants and being stung to death right in front of you.
Don't say that.
Yeah, but it's true.